I got this little teddy bear jacket the other day and I cannot stop wearing it. I just love anything fluffy. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, you may actually remember the video that we're going to be playing today because I'm about to really embarrass myself. This video was actually a stolen video idea from the lovely Helen Anderson herself. I don't usually nick people's video ideas because I don't often hop on like bandwagons because if I'm being honest, I don't actually usually like people's ideas, but I thought this was a banging idea, particularly because I can do this. Like, this is an idea which not everybody can do, and I really liked that part about it. Like, I like the fact that only the people who have like stuck to YouTube for so long can fully take advantage of this idea to its biggest potential. Look at all the lipstick around my mug, I'm sorry. Because like Helen, I've been on YouTube for so long, and can I just also say, she's brilliant. She's probably in my top like 10 favorite YouTubers, and I watch a lot of YouTube, so maybe I'd even say top 5, and that's saying something because like I said, I don't usually like people's ideas. I tend to get bored of people. I tend to not really like vibe with people, but with her I feel like we have good like mutual brain waves. I feel like some of the stuff she says and does, I'm like, I've either said it before already, or like she's saying it as I'm thinking it. I feel like in another life she was like my big sister or something. It's really creepy. But anyway, she had this cool idea where she answered the same questions that she answered about like a few years ago. I don't know how many years she did, but I'm going to be doing 5 years. I cannot believe this. Like, I didn't know which one to pick because I've been on YouTube for like 10 years. I could pick one that's like 9 years old. I might do that like another time, but for this I really wanted to do a 5 year because if I'm answering the same questions as I did when I was a child, they're going to be obviously different, and it's going to be kind of stereotypical like stuff and silly and like not very serious. But because I actually sat down and properly spoke as what I felt was as an adult, it'll be funnier, I feel. This is like a really exciting video idea for me because this is the closest I'm going to get to talking to my young self. Like, I feel like I'm about to sit down with little Ellie and literally talk to her. This is the closest I can get to this, and this is one of my favorite things about being on YouTube. You have a digital footprint, and that can be a curse, but it also can be a very big blessing because there's so much of our life we forget and it just sits in the back of our brain, it fizzles away. But when you're on YouTube, you document so much of your life because you kind of have to, it's what you do, and it's that push you need to remind yourself to document all the time so you can look back in the future. Let's go. God, so nervous. Even though the videos are up there for people to see, I don't know why I find this embarrassing if like they're available for everyone anyway. It's just more embarrassing because you guys might not know that, and you guys might not actively go out looking for my old videos, but in this one, like, you're gonna see it. I know you're gonna see it because I'm physically showing it to you. So
hello everyone, today we're going to be doing a little bit of a more chilled out video today because we're going to be doing a Q&A. I haven't done just a chill video of you for a while, so I'm excited.
I remember filming this and doing it in manual settings. I set my camera to manual settings and felt really proud of myself, and I watched it back and I was like, oh my god. I was really trying to get into like making the most of my equipment and like getting really proud of myself when I made the most of my equipment. But I wanted that blurry background in the background that all the YouTubers had, and I don't think this made any difference. I don't know why I was trying to achieve that with manual settings when it was available in automatic settings.
I'm very well aware that the majority of my audience are young teenage viewers, so I just want to put it out there for you guys that there is a YouTube show that is happening at the moment called The 401 Show. It's basically a YouTube channel that features a load of good YouTubers, which covers a load of things to do with puberty, or it could be to do with social media, or really like personal things like mental health problems and things like.
Oh my god, this is crazy, right? This was one of my very first sponsorships. Oh, you know, I get asked quite a lot, like, what was your first sponsorship? Who first sponsored you for the first time? And now I'm thinking it might have even been the 401 Show. The 401 Show was a YouTube channel, and they asked for me to do a shout out for them because like I talk a little bit about like taboo topics, I suppose. I used to anyway. Don't really do that now because YouTube don't really like you if you do that. But that's really interesting. I forgot all about the 401 Show. I don't think they're a thing anymore though, which is a shame. So they were a really good idea.
They're really cool and they're doing good things, so it's recommended by moi.
Oh my god. I get given, oh, funky music. I get given so much crap for my old intro. People always say to me, why did you stop doing your intro? The reason why I stopped my intro, guys, is because everyone used to sing it to me. Friends would sing it on nights out, people would sing it, and viewers would come up to me and be like, nincompoop, and I would it just cringed me to the bone of my body. So I just removed it because I just, like, there's no point me keep putting it out there if I don't want people to mention it. You know, it's like, if you don't like the way people mention something, then don't keep putting it out there. So I just removed it. And funnily enough, the same goes for the way I spoke. I don't know if you can already tell by this video, but I was very robotic and I spoke so enthusiastically and everything was scripted. And I mean, it wasn't scripted, I didn't write things down, but like after every sentence I paused and thought about the next thing and said it, and then I would like cut off the part where I'm thinking. I've always been authentic, but I think there was always like a more of a persona back in the day for me, for sure. And that was probably why my channel was bigger then than it is now, because it's like, oh my god, she's so approachable and exciting and enthusiastic, but it wasn't authentic enough for me to be happy with it, because friends who knew me in real life or people who met me and got to know me realized that I'm not actually like that in real life. And friends would say to me like, you're so enthusiastic on YouTube, like you're so crazy on YouTube. Or I'll meet a viewer and they will be like, oh, you're different in person. And that really upset me. I was like, you're right, like you're not lying, like it is true, I like to bring out a different side of myself, but that didn't sit comfortably with me. Like I wanted people to meet me and be like, yeah, you're Ellie, like that's exactly who I was expecting. So that's why I also ditched the strange like robotic voice I'm kind of giving off there. And a very enthusiastic one too. Also, it's really triggering me how my eyeliner is so thick and I've got nothing on my lips. Like, fair enough if I had like things going on in both areas, but it's just really heavy shitey eyeliner and like nothing on my lips. And now look at me, I look like a clown. Nothing's truly changed really, has it?
So back to the actual video, I asked you guys on my Facebook page, links down there in my cleavage, to ask me some questions, and you guys have a lot of things to ask. So I'm just going to jump straight into it and answer some of your questions. I'm going to A some of your Q's. Question number 1 was asked by Carrie Ann Chatterbox Multi Boys. That's a very long name and I very highly doubt it's real too. And she asks, if you had to lose all of your subscribers or all of your videos, which would you choose?
Which would you choose? By the way, loving this editing, Ellie. Like, obviously I went a little bit out there to like make it a bit more fun and exciting. So top marks for that. If you had to lose all your subscribers or all your videos, what would you choose? Wow, that's actually a really good question, Carrie. Are you still watching? Hello, Carrie Ann, if you are. I'm gonna answer first as me, so I'm not influenced by my past answer. It would have to be my subscribers, because I technically have lost my subscribers since this video, because I don't think anyone still watches me now. That's not a dig, that's just honesty. It's been 5 freaking years, so most people are growing up doing other things now. So now I'm just gonna say all of my subscribers. The main important thing is I have videos, like I have the content that I've been putting the time into. I can always build subscribers again, but I won't ever get those videos back.
That's a very, very good question, Carrie. So I just had to choose that one as one of the questions to ask. I would know my answer straight away. It would definitely have to be losing all my videos instead of you guys, because number 1, you guys mean more to me than the footage I create, as weird as that sounds, because the reason I have you guys is because of the footage. I wouldn't want to lose any of you, not because I'm obsessed with the numbers that I've reached, but because you mean more importance to me, and I wouldn't just want to get rid of you and then say I'll start again with new people, because I want to keep the people who have kept me along the journey that I'm on. Yeah, I would miss some of the stuff that I've made, but I'd have you guys, and that's all that matters. This video has just got cringy and I will now stop.
My braces, can I just say. Also, holy mama. Like, I guess I didn't see the side of it where it was like sentimental. Like, I was literally saying that you guys have to leave my life, and I guess that was where I was coming from before. But I didn't see it that way at all. Like, how weird is it that my mind's just completely changed on that aspect? The thing is, that's crazy I've said that, because I'm not somebody who regrets much. But the only thing I do regret in life is deleting a load of my old videos years ago. Like 10 years ago, I deleted my first load of videos, and I would love to have them back now, because I put so much work into those. There is no way I would delete all of my videos, like, because I would regret that so much. I know, like, Ellie here, she was probably clinging on to like every single bit of achievement she's made in her like numbers, and even though I said it wasn't about numbers, I think it was. I don't know if I was just like making that up to sound nice, like no, I don't think I would have been lying. But god, my fringe, man, like my hair was just 70% fringe.
The next question was asked by Jenna Hall. Am I in focus. I can never tell if I'm in focus. It's such a tragic world. The next question was asked by Jenna Horohov.
Still can't
I
pronounce.
can't say names for shite.
Nope,
She asked,
still can't.
what's your favourite accent or accent you wish you had?
Good question. I used to like the Irish accent, but like I've kind of gone off it recently for some reason. I think it's because I've met a load of Irish people now, so now it's like not as exciting. Not saying they've made it not appealing. It's more that I'm used to it a bit more now than I used to be. Before it was like gold dust. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, on a guy, I like the Irish accent, like if it's like slight.
I am obsessed with the Australian accent because it just sounds so amazing, but I can't really hear too much of it. Too much of anything good is bad, right? But the second accent I'm gonna have to say is one I could listen to all day long and just sit there and stare at whoever it is who has the accent and who is talking to me, and that is the Irish accent. So beautiful, and I haven't actually met somebody Irish who has a genuine Irish accent before, so when I do, I will just be like, I'm sorry, but I'm adopting you, and talk to me and help me sleep and wake me up in the morning and sing whilst I'm in the shower, talk to me whilst I'm eating, whilst I'm cooking, whilst I'm pooping. The next question.
I've met a few Irish people. I am quite close to an Irish person now, and it just becomes normality and it's not as exciting anymore. But I think a guy, I don't know a guy with an Irish accent. Like I haven't really been close with a guy with an Irish accent. If I did, I would probably like that a lot. Australian I was going to mention earlier, but I've kind of I've got a bit bored of accents, basically, I think is what I'm saying.
And she says, what is your secret to your confidence?
I actually don't have like any confidence. I'm really, really shy, and people won't believe that because like on my videos I'm outgoing and I edit it in a way where it's like I'm talking all the time, but actually in real life, where if I'm friends with you and I'm sat with you, I will very much pick and choose when I want to talk. Like I will wait for conversation to like simmer down so I can have my moment to say something. I won't just jump on in there and like say loads of stuff and shout until I'm heard. And I speak very little, but when I am speaking, I like to think that it's like stuff that's interesting, you know. I don't like to be in the spotlight, believe it or not, all the time, even though there's a literal big light behind you. What I've grown over time, I feel like since this video I have come miles in confidence. Like life just throws things at you that makes you have to grow. You've got no other choice. So I would say since this video I've definitely, confidence wise, I've learned that people don't think about you as much as you think they do. In this video, I remember being at the age I am there, I used to think that everyone's looking at you, everyone's thinking about you, everyone's wondering what you're thinking and trying to get in your brain. Like I still struggle with this now, but a lot of my lacking confidence is down to me thinking that whoever I'm talking to is trying to read my mind or can read my mind. Like I'll slip up when I start thinking the person who I'm talking to knows that I'm like struggling to talk to them or knows that I'm anxious. Like a lot of my anxiety comes from me thinking people know I'm anxious, and I'll be thinking in my head like they're judging me because they know I'm scared, or they're judging me because I said that wrong. Like I constantly assume people are judging me and thinking about me. And the more you remember that actually everyone's too interested in themselves and they're too busy thinking about themselves, you realize that you can say stuff and do stuff and people won't care. Like, people will forget. We're also here for a very short time, so like make connections with people, make friends with people, talk to people. You don't know who you're gonna meet. I've met so many new people this year just from saying fuck it, I'm gonna go meet you, let's chat. Like I meet on apps and stuff and it's fun. Like nothing bad ever comes out of doing something like that. Nothing bad ever comes out of going out of your comfort zone. That's something really important too. Get a journal, make a journal, buy a journal if you can, and every time you do something that's a bit out of your comfort zone, a bit scary, write what you did down and then write what came out of it, and then keep doing that. And by the end of the year you have a big list of stuff, and you can read that book every time you're about to do something scary to remind yourself how amazing it felt when you achieved the thing. And you can look back and go, oh my god, that felt incredible. Remember that cool thing that came out of that. Remember that best friend I made out of that. Remember that first date I went on? Well, now he's my fiance. Like you can take away all the greatness that comes from scary shit.
I presume she's referring to the confidence that I bring across onto my channel, because in real life I can lack in a lot of confidence and it stops me from doing things which I would really, really like to do if I had the confidence to do it, and it makes me lose a lot of opportunities that I could have gone forward with. A lot of people ask me why I seem so different in real life to on the internet, and most of that I've figured is down to the people who give me the confidence, who watch my videos, to keep making videos. Because if you guys told me that I was rubbish at it, my confidence would not be anywhere near it is now. But because you guys like what I make, it brings me the confidence to do it. And I think that goes for anything. If you go and try something for the first time and then you get good feedback from it, or you get good experience from it, it gives you confidence to go do it again. So that's kind of what I got from YouTube. It doesn't necessarily mean I do get the same sort of confidence from everything else I do in my life. You're a very lucky person if you can do a lot of things with ease. I think the secret to confidence itself is to try whatever it is you think you can't do once, see how it made you feel, and just keep going and working on it. Confidence doesn't just happen. I think it's something you've got to test. You can't just say I can't do it first thing. You've got to try it once, and you'll be surprised of the power you have within yourself to keep doing it because of the very first experience you had with it, such as this for me.
That's really sound advice, if I'm honest, because it is very, very true. You can't say that you can't do something if you've never tried it before. You have to try it, take from the experience what you realised you really struggled with. So let's say it's going to a course, learning something new, try it. The bit you struggle with might be walking through the door, talking to the first person you see, leaving the house. It might even be an hour into the course and the teacher stops talking and now you have to interact with the rest of the group, or the very last minute of the course where you all have to get up and say goodbye. Like, you have to pinpoint the parts that you struggle with and then slowly work on them. So then you say, okay, it's social interaction that I struggle with, let's work on that. Let's meet somebody new every week, or let's smile at somebody new every day when I walk past someone. Ask someone at the supermarket where something is, even though I know where it is, to help me get better at talking to new people. Like, it's building up slowly, bit by bit.
What is true love? Go. True love is when...
Whoa. I think true love is wanting nothing from somebody but them being their true, authentic self. Absolutely having no intentions of changing anything about that person but their happiness. True love is just wanting to give and never ever seeing someone as a benefit or something that you can get out of them, or a project, a mission, an aim, a goal. Like, true love is looking at somebody and just wanting to give them as much as you can to make their life easier.
True love is when the person you're in love with could do anything to you unintentionally or intentionally and you will still be forever in love with them. It's when the person can look any way possible and you will still have intense feelings for them. You just put them above absolutely anything in your life. I believe that is true love.
In my personal opinion, that's a little bit toxic. And if I'm thinking about it now, I'm wondering whether I was getting that response from referencing how I felt about somebody who I had in my life at that time, who I was in love with, and they didn't like me back. So I'm thinking whether I just took the words true love and thought, right, well, it's how I feel about them, which is true. Little Ellie here, like, is in love with this person, but I'm saying it in a way where it's like not mutual, and I'm not saying love has to be mutual, but I'm saying like it has to be healthy, you know. Like, the minute you associate true love to being something where you become the only thing that person cares and wants, it slides into a really dangerous grey area where it's rose-tinted glasses. Like, you're putting this person essentially before yourself. That is true love, but it's also not the kind of true love that I think you should be pursuing.
What are your thoughts on the Pretty Reckless's new album, Going to Hell, and which is your favourite song of it?
I really like Pretty Reckless. I wear their shirts every now and again. You've probably seen that in videos. I'm really bad with like album titles and song titles. I'm just bad with names in general. Like, I'm bad at pronouncing people's names. I'm bad at remembering people's names. I'm bad at remembering album titles and movie names and like actors' names and all sorts. See, I've already forgotten. Literally, I've forgotten what it's called. Sorry, future editing Ellie, but you're gonna have to put the name here because I don't know what it is, and I'm sure it's like 2 words or something, but there.
But the new album is brilliant, and I know this is probably a very unoriginal answer and probably one you're going to expect. Well, it is going to have to be Heaven Knows. I think it's such a good song. It's so catchy, and I probably listen to it every time I go to uni. On the way, I'm like, it's just so good. And Taylor Momsen is just damn. She says, if you won £1 million on the lottery, what would you do first?
I really don't think Ellie's going to say this back then, but Ellie girl, please do this, okay? If you were to win the lottery in the past, which I know you don't, so I don't know why I'm telling you to do this, I would put it on a freaking deposit. I would just buy a house in the countryside, down the south, somewhere, and love my life and live near my family, and it'll be great. And that's where my £1 million, my entire £1 million would go. Nowhere else but on a house. Or things to do with the house. Like, I wouldn't spend the entire $1 million in the house, but a big chunk of it would go on the house, and the rest would like go on the bills and stuff to keep me going for a little while, and then I guess I'll have to use my earnings afterwards. Because £1 million isn't actually a lot. Back then to little Ellie it was probably loads, but now I'm like, that would go very, very quickly if I was to spend it on a house.
If I won the lottery and I was going to spend a lot of that money on something big, it would have to be my own studio. I would love to have like all this money I could just put into a business, so like a production company that I could manage and create cool stuff, become a successful company. That would be an awesome thing. A cool place to film in, to edit in, not necessarily for YouTube, but for other things as well.
It's an investment, that's a good answer.
And now I'm going to do the last question, because I'm going to put this video in 2 parts, so you're going to have to wait for the second part. Patience, child, patience. And this question comes from Sarah Gammon Carter, and she asks, what's the best experience you have ever had?
I kind of want to say Disney World when I went with my family. I went to America for 2 weeks, but I was so young that I don't really remember it. My best experience I've ever had. Wow, that's such a big question. I'd like you lot to answer that question yourself in the comments, genuinely, because like, that's such a hard thing to answer. I think one of the coolest experiences that's happened to me, which I mean, you can use the word experience loosely because it's more of like a part of my life that is just the coolest, is when I had, well, I was about to say my first few, but actually every single time someone says hello to me who knows me from YouTube, that is probably the coolest thing to ever happen to me, hands down. And I don't know how many of you guys will get that. Like, if there's anyone watching this video who acts or who sings or who's an artist, who has some sort of persona out there for the world to see, and then gets someone from the real world recognize them for that, it's the wildest thing. It's a really good feeling though. Like, I love it. I love meeting people that know me from YouTube. I love having conversations with people that are like, hi, I watch your videos. I'm like, yes, like it's honestly so cool. I wish everyone could experience that at least once in their life. I get such a buzz. So if anyone ever sees me, say hello, because I'm gonna be buzzing when you do. It's such a difficult question. Experiences come in all shapes and sizes. I could say when I visited Disney World, but then again I could say when I had a really, really, really fun 18th birthday party. They're just completely different things. And so I'm gonna say for one which has had the most impact in my life, when I first learned what love was. As cringy as that sounds, but learning what love is one of the most important and craziest things you could ever do in your life, because it affects you from the time you learn about it until the day you die. There is nothing sweeter and grander than being in love. And yeah, it wasn't the smoothest ride throughout my life, but it's experiences and you learn. I'm talking as though I'm like an old granny and I've got like loads of life experience, man. But this did actually pass my mind. I was thinking like, what about relationships, Ellie? Like meeting Adam or my first boyfriend, because like I'm saying there, it's like learning what love is and discovering love for the first time. Because actually, I wouldn't put that down too far from what the answer I gave in this video, because being in my first relationship, I think, even though obviously I love Adam more, loads more, I think the experience of having your first partner is like the coolest thing. It's so new, it's so exciting. I think the honeymoon period in any of my relationships was by far the coolest. I loved the first couple of months I got of Adam. I was constantly on crack. I'm joking, I wasn't really. I just felt on a constant high. I was buzzed. That like fuzzy feeling you get when you find a new love is like one of the coolest things you'll ever experience. And when I have kids, like, even though it will suck to see their heart being broken for the first time because it's inevitable, it will be so cool to see them like experience that. And it will also be scary because I'm like, years protection, but do you know what I mean? Like losing my virginity, could that be one of my one of my best experiences? Do you know what I mean? Anything to do with love, I'm really gushy and mushy about, so I don't actually knock Ellie for saying that. Like, that's quite a valid answer. Like, love is such a freaking cool thing to experience for the first time, and having a little companion, a little male companion for the first time, or female, whatever, but having like a lover for the first time is such a cool thing. It's like, you love me, I love you, we do fun things, and we have a laugh, and like we also love each other. And yeah. Well done, Ellie. I actually really enjoyed this, and that video was in 2 parts. There is a second part of that video, and I will happily do this again. If you enjoyed this type of video, I would love to do a series of videos. I want to introduce a series of videos on my channel because I really, really enjoyed this, of me comparing old videos to new. So I could do a makeup tutorial where I copy the same thing I did years and years ago and do it now. I could take part in a tag that I did then and compare it to now and compare answers. I think that would be such a fun thing. So let me know if you enjoyed this, and let me know if you feel like you'd be much different from how you were 5 years ago. Like, what kind of person were you? I'd love to know. I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you guys very, very soon. I'm on social media if you want to join me on that, such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I do tarot readings, so if you want to book a tarot reading from me, use the email down there in my video description. And I'm on Patreon. And by the way, if you are on a $20 pledge from now up until the 25th December, I'm actually shipping away sunshine shirts from my merch store, the Sunshine one that I sell. I'm sending them out myself. I'm shipping them out myself to everyone on my $20 Patreon pledge right this second. So get on that bandwagon if you wanna. If you've already been a Patreon before though, over the $10 mark, then you only need to be a $15 pledge to get the shirt. Anyway, love you guys loads, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.